the dumb
Nothing new
kid
is
the
really
dumb
been.
kid thing off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that happens to me on my YouTube videos. I gotta turn off, or I get no comments if it's made for kids, which is ridiculous. Because
Hmm.
like,
Like I said before, like I get it, but it's like just have to keep on doing it over and over again. Just gets really,
yeah, it
really,
sucks.
really repetitive, and I
You know,
don't.
Miles Mikolas from the Cardinals is getting flexor strain surgery or something, right?
Seriously,
Yeah, something like that.
that's not good.
Yeah, you
That's
know
not good
Kluber's
at
done for the
all.
season, right?
Yes, unfortunately, I had a lot of faith and trust in him, but it's
Yeah,
just
turns out the Rangers
apparently
did too, and not anymore.
no. Apparently, the Indians just basically finessed them.
Daniel
'Cause-
Palka signed with the KBO Samsung Lions for $170,000.
Nice, nice.
Probably is gonna be safer out there than he is over here.
The Joe Kelly Fight Club. I just have to do it. I just have to do it. I'm just calling it the Joe Kelly Fight Club because this is on you. Big time on you.
Too much responsibility.
Yeah, you have a lot of responsibility. All right, so there should be the chat. The chat should be good to go. If you want to link, I'll just link you on Twitter like I usually do. It's the easier way to do it, so I don't have to switch in between Discord and
Yeah,
stuff like we use it. So,
I'll be up there on. I got Twitter up.
alrighty, coolio.
I've always got Twitter up.
All right, well, hello guys. This is me and my co-host, or my co-host and I, because I can't grammar properly. But we're doing another podcast. We decided to do another podcast and talk briefly about the game that's going to happen tomorrow night between the Yankees and the Orioles, since the game series between the Phillies and Yankees was postponed, unfortunately, because the Marlins apparently don't know what they're doing, and Derek Jeter doesn't know how to own a team, apparently. Don't really know what's going on with that. Don't know what the thought process behind that was. Wasn't it something? Didn't they say they went on like a boat? Didn't they go on a boating trip or something? Like
No,
they
that's the Giants. That's the Giants you're thinking of.
Are you sure the Marlins weren't like they weren't on
I
the
don't
sea
think
or like on a boat?
I don't know. I didn't hear any confirmed reports, but I heard Bob Nightingale say that there was at least one person that went out. So I don't know what the answer is. I'm watching me tip my chair over in the camera. There it is. Beautiful. What a shot.
I mean,
Um, like one guy went out at least, and then got everybody else sick against the will of the team. And well, that's what happens. This virus takes no prisoners.
absolutely not.
Nope. This virus has a really bad way of karming everybody, and it's a real shame. Like you got to be really legitimately careful out there. It's bad.
That is very
Like
true.
there's no safety here.
But we also
I
wanted to
mean,
talk about the Dodgers Astros game today, and that's why we named the podcast the Joe Kelly Fight
Kelly
Club,
Fight Club.
because Joe Kelly kind of had a kind of like a little standoff with Carlos Correa, except he walked away instead of this
Yeah.
time with. If you guys remember the last time that this incident kind of like an incident that was kind of similar was Joe Kelly and Tyler Austin, which is now isn't Tyler Austin on the Giants still?
Tyler Austin? No, he's in Japan.
Okay, he is in Japan. So I thought that before we start talking about that, we'd bring back this old video clip of Tyler Austin and
The
Joe
Tyler Austin
Haley
man.
going head to head. I think this is a solid video to watch.
I wish that they didn't get in the way, and that Tyler Austin. Kudos to Tyler Austin for just running at the dude. Like I got.
Sack
all the
soon to
respect
be
in the
heading to
world
the
for that
West
guy.
Coast.
Like, he's a beast.
Right after the Patriots Day game against the
This-
Orioles.
Let's watch it. Here we go.
I
Oh
re-
baby.
I remember this like it was yesterday too, man. Like this was honestly didn't even feel like it was that long ago. I know it was only in
Dude.
2018, but man, I just feel like it was yesterday when this happened.
This is so context. This is after he already slid into second base and tried to spike somebody.
W-
One ball, one strike.
Oh man.
Tyler
I'm
Austin
watching,
was
like-
not having it.
I'm watching super far behind, so I'm just watching him on the broadcast and responding like way later to it. So
Angels leading.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm at like 52 seconds. I know the latency's a little off, but
it's
you'll
gonna
get
be
there.
like a minute.
Beat Miami 4-1. So they're now 10-1.
Yep. Okay. So he buzzes him inside. Yeah, that's normal push him off the plate, and then the next one just comes up and in from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really set sequence. You know, you get him leaning for the slider, get him to lean in, and then protect the outside, and then you just throw it.
Was it on the 2-1 count? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was
don't
on
remember.
2-1.
I want to say it was. I want to say this right here is it. Oh, yeah, there it is. Slam the bat down.
Slams the bat down. Throws the helmet. I think he throws the helmet, and then just runs out there. And like he backs away. Like Joe Kelly backs up. He's like, nope.
Dude, he literally tried to give Tyler Austin an uppercut and completely missed. Like it wasn't even close.
Yeah, they missed. There was a lot of missed punching. Yep, up and in. Yep, hit bat. Bat. Helmet. And we're off. And he got like. Vasquez did a really good job. I think it's Vasquez did a really good job of getting in the way. Like Vasquez completely stopped this from being like a square up.
Oh, we got to put on some Rick Roll music or some like some romantic music right there at that part because Joe Kelly almost had his jersey off. You can almost see his chest. See a little bit of chest from Joe Kelly.
I mean, I'm the last person who wants to be in the middle of a fight with Tyler Austin, Giancarlo Stanton, and Aaron Judge right there.
Oh,
like,
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Everyone made fun of Tyler Austin after this, but I didn't get it because Joe Kelly looks like he just got in the middle of like a 3-car pileup.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure why everyone made fun of Austin for charging the mound. Like,
well, a lot of people think that he did that slide at second on purpose. That's why. A lot of people think that...
he legit looks like his substitute teacher just got in the middle of a food fight. Like, I don't get it.
Oh my goodness. So there's that, just to give you guys some like.
That's why it's Joe Kelly Fight Club because back in that,
give you some
they made
context.
that said Joe Kelly Fight Club on it.
But then did you want to go through the John Boy? Did you watch the John Boy breakdown?
I did watch the John Boy breakdown.
Did you want to go through that too?
If you want to,
we can like. Play
I mean, I think
that
it's really funny that we have hot mics in this situation where there's literally nobody in the
Baseball's
stands,
back in the drama
and
that
we've
we
just
all
got
wanted
perfect
to
hot
see
mics,
unfold.
and
It's
you've got
finally
dudes in the
unfolding
middle
as
of
the
nowhere
Dodgers
just
face the
screaming
Astros.
at
This one's
Joe
brought to you by
Kelly,
DraftKings.
which is really
For those
funny.
of you that don't know the context behind this,
So
the Astros
if you want to
beat
go
the
through it,
Dodgers
then
in the World
I'm all
Series
for
while
it.
they
I
were
mean, I
cheating,
don't
so
really.
Joe Kelly's on the mound. Bregman's at the plate.
I'm not a fan of
It's a
stealing other
3-run
people's
game,
content and all
and
that
Joe
stuff.
Kelly
But yeah.
cannot find the zone.
Oh no, it's just to kind of give people a breakdown of what happened because it's a better idea. Because I mean, obviously John Boy is going to do a lot better breakdown than I am.
Yeah, John Boy is the best.
John Boy really is the goat with these.
Man, he is legit.
Okay, yeah, I'll just throw it this dude.
Not even just as a Yankee fan, just because like his videos are really funny for everybody. Like,
he's like, oh my god, I wish I knew that one.
I mean, the thing about Joe Kelly is, I'm amazed. It could be the camera angle, but like the movement he's getting on his pitches is insane. Just watching him pitch,
to make
like,
matters even worse, he's just gonna try to.
I love how much movement he gets on his fastball, and I love how sharp that slider is.
All right, I'll
just
scare
watching
you
it.
there. Now I'm gonna fire.
Look at how hard that ball moves. Like
you seeing this?
Starts the inside corner and just
cardboard
darts
cutouts.
off to the right, like crazy movement.
Dude's being a butthead right now. Anyway,
and the fact that Joe Kelly is so concerned with Bregman on first base that he's basically throwing lasers to get him like to stay on the bag and not steal.
This is pretty fun.
See, I don't think that he was trying to hit him with the pitch. I think
oh,
it's more
there
like
it is.
You want him to hit the dirt. Like you want to make him think.
Fucker. He's gonna get through this guy.
Tries
to go back to the fastball. Just doesn't have any.
Just watching what happened. That was a good pickoff
so
right there.
He almost got 4 straight pitchers. So now with Correa, he's like, screw the fastball. I can't throw it for a strike. I'll go off speed. Off speed. Maybe that's on purpose as well. He's like, hey, I wanted to hit this dude with my fastball, but I got no idea where it's going. Correa's like, oh,
I love that.
It could hurt me. What's up?
That's so funny, dude.
Now he's just gonna attack him with the breaking pitch.
I wonder who that is. I don't know who it is. I don't recognize the voice. It could be a bench coach.
Then he starts going faces mode. Then he goes, sad boy. Correa's tossing his equipment like.
I don't think that slider was intentional. Honestly, I think that slider was just really bad luck.
Fucking easy.
I think he tried to overthrow a slider and it just slipped out of his hand.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll throw my fastball down the middle for you. Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
I love it so much.
Honestly, Joe Kelly had some nice like breaking pitches right there. To be honest with you.
What?
And then Joe Kelly acts like a first grader, throwing some first grader shade at Carlos Correa.
that's kind of it. They kind of break it up.
Honestly, that's the funniest thing I have seen in a fat minute from baseball. Like, that's the funniest thing easily I've seen this year. Top-notch gold Joe Kelly Fight Club.
Pretty well. And
Joe Kelly always seems like he's wearing a hat that's like 3 sizes too big. I don't know why it's just me.
DraftKings. Download the DraftKings app.
That's so funny, man.
I like all the masks that I'm seeing. At least that's a good start.
Man. I mean, honestly, what do you feel about the whole situation? Like, do you think Joe Kelly just needs to stay in his lane? Because, like, he wasn't the one who was he was not on the Dodgers lineup whenever the Dodgers got cheated out of World Series. So do you think really he needs to stay in his lane? Or what do you think about Correa? You know, I think Correa, honestly, like, I don't want to, like, give the Astros any praise, but I think Correa handled it better than I thought he might handle the situation. Like, it could have really escalated out of control. You know what I mean?
I mean, I didn't want to... Okay, a couple things. The first one is, I think it's really funny that Joe Kelly is out here retaliating as a Dodger for things that the Astros were guilty of, that his team was also guilty of. Like, he was with the Red Sox in 17. Or, I'm sorry, in 18. Or whatever. It was 16 or 18?
Yeah, it was 18, because that was the year that Tyler
was guilty of it too. Like, you can't even be mad. I think that he's just a Dodger, and now he's kind of being that way because, like, they're attacking the Dodgers, so now he's like, well, I'm going to fight back at them. I think a lot more goes on behind the scenes that we don't really see between them all. I think Correa handled it okay. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I was terrified of him going out there and maybe, I don't know, breaking an ankle, because I know last time he had a massage, broke a rib.
How do you even do that? How is that even possible?
I don't know.
It just doesn't add up.
Check on him real quick. Make sure he didn't break a hip, fall into the ground from that hit by pitch. That could have happened. I mean, seriously, I don't know how it happened, but like it happened. I mean,
man, it's like every.
I think they handled it okay. I mean, obviously, there was no fighting. I mean, Dusty Baker was there to defend his players. I mean, I think that he was getting a little heated for no reason, but I mean, I'm surprised that warnings were not issued before the game. So that way they would have just ejected Joe Kelly right away for throwing behind Bregman.
Yeah, I was about to say.
On purpose, surprised that he wasn't thrown out immediately, along with Dave Martinez. Is that his name? Who's the coach of the Dodgers?
Oh, Dave Roberts.
Dave Martinez is in Nationals. Who's the right?
Dave Roberts, right?
Dave Roberts. That's who it is. I knew it was Dave. I just forgot who it was.
Yeah, Dave Roberts.
Dave Martinez is the Nationals coach.
Yeah. Which it's kind of funny because like the Dodgers have like had 2 years in a row where they've had a really notorious moment. This is gonna go down as the funniest moment of 2020, and then 2019 was, you remember it, Bumgarner versus
they play tomorrow.
Play Max Muncy versus Max Muncy, and he told him go fish it out of the ocean because he didn't like that he hit home run and bat flipped on him.
Bumgarner is a fool. Bumgarner is like a police officer. Like, I don't know what he's doing or what his deal is. He hates everything that moves and breathes.
Him and Brian McCann have such an issue with bat flips.
Yeah, him and McCann
they despise bat flips.
Would be great friends about unwritten rules. They would be absolute best friends.
And that one Royals pitcher, whenever Tim Anderson last year when he threw his bat. Was it Ventura?
Rip? I don't know. I remember what you're talking about, though. I know the guy who literally throws 100 miles an hour but hits everybody.
Yeah.
I thought it was Ventura.
It might have been. I'm not too sure, but I do know Tim Anderson was the one who bat flipped, and it pissed him off.
I'm talking about in the past. I'm not talking about the guy that hit Ventura.
No, I'm just specifically talking about that bat flip from Tim Anderson with the Royals at the beginning of the 2019 season. Yeah.
That wasn't a bat flip. That was a bat throw.
Bat throw. Which is a little different. Like, I could maybe see why a pitcher would be upset about that, but like a bat flip like Muncy's done, like,
he threw it like a dodgeball.
It's not that big of a deal. It's really not. Let the kids play, as they say. I don't have a problem
with it. He literally
just
took it.
But anyways, I mean, do you have anything else to add? I mean, like I said, I think it could have escalated a lot more than it could have. I'm glad
it's
it
not
didn't.
over with.
Well, yeah, of course it's not. That's only the first game. I mean, they've got to play each other several times, and not just in Houston, but in Los Angeles too.
I think that tomorrow, if they wake up and they start the game off by issuing warnings, I feel like no one will get hurt. But if they don't do that, I feel like something bad is going to happen tomorrow. Like, you're going to watch somebody get hit, upper chest, like someone's going to get hurt.
And I don't want that.
They need to be more careful with this.
Like, as much as I despise the Astros for cheating,
careful.
nobody deserves a pitch up and in near their head. You know what I mean? That's dangerous. You don't mess around with that. That's not funny. So,
what was Dusty Baker's quote about...
I will find it for you because I retweeted it.
Dusty Baker's quote, I had it up here on Reddit.
You don't throw at a guy's head. That's playing dirty baseball. No. Dusty Baker on reliever Joe Kelly. What really enraged everybody was that he told Carlos Correa when he struck him out, "Nice swing, bitch."
That's it.
That's the quote you're looking for.
Let's be real here. Do you remember? Let's go back in time. Like 3 months. Do you remember the video of Joe Kelly trying to throw a changeup and he broke the window?
Yes, I do. I mentioned that.
The thing about Joe Kelly that makes Joe Kelly so good is that when Joe Kelly throws a pitch, he doesn't know where the hell it's going. So if you don't know where the pitch is going, the hitter has no chance of knowing where the pitch is going either, right? That's what makes Joe Kelly so good. Is he throws hard and it can go anywhere. Unfortunately, it also means that he can just lose it and it just goes up and down on somebody, and he just hits people. Like, he naturally just hits people.
Yeah, he plunked Bregman. I don't think he could hit someone if
he tried.
Yeah, because he plunked Bregman earlier with a 96 mile per hour and fastball, and like you said, there was no warnings issued for some odd reason. I'm not really sure why.
It was like Dellin Betances in 2017 when there was the Tigers game, the one with the brawl, where Betances hit someone in the head. I'm like, they didn't think it was intentional. Like, everyone said it was intentional. I'm like, Betances was so messed up after that he couldn't find the zone. I don't think he could hit someone if he tried.
Was that the same series where... That wasn't the same series where Austin Romine and Miguel Cabrera got into a fight, was it? That was the same game.
Cabrera got in a wrestling match. Same game.
And now they're teammates, which is really awkward. That has to be very awkward in the clubhouse, I imagine. You know, that has
especially
to be awkward.
Now that Romine has replaced his brother.
Yeah, that is... Wow, I didn't even realize that. To put that into context, that's pretty bad.
Now it's hilarious, but yeah. I mean, like, Joe Kelly has always been the guy that throws at people. I don't know why, but he just seems to be the person, like you said, the guy from the Royals who I'm talking about. Like, just feels like he needs to police the game. And it's his own prerogative. I mean, I don't think anyone needs to tell him to do it. I think he just did it on his own accord. I don't think anybody else did anything to egg him on. I think he just decided, screw it. Just like John Boy said, he just decided to be like, well, I'm just going to throw up and in at this guy. I can't aim anyway.
The thing I have like a really big problem with is there's people who intentionally want these guys to get hit, and I'm like, why? What if someone gets killed? No, that's not okay. A lot of people also, I remember when Verlander got injured, they were like okay with it, like kind of making jokes about it. And I'm like, how is this funny? It doesn't matter the integrity of base. It doesn't matter how their integrity is displayed to you or projected. It's never okay to hit anyone in the head with a baseball. You know what I mean? Or go that high.
I'm a Yankee fan. If I want to beat the Astros, I want to beat the Astros with Verlander. I don't want to beat him without him. All right? I want to go through Verlander. Like, I want to beat Verlander. Let's go. You know, I don't need no rinky-dink B lineup. Like, I want to beat them with the A lineup, so that way we can just show them we're here now.
Yeah, that's a good point. You want to beat them.
Get injured. That's silly.
You want to beat them when they're at full strength. Because then their fans can't talk shit back to you and be like, oh, well, we didn't have Verlander, we didn't have this guy or this guy. They don't have any excuses. You want to play their full line. And plus, it's better for baseball if both teams are at full strength. It's good for baseball.
Like, I'm sorry. I've always watched Verlander when he was the Tiger. Like, he's God-tier pitcher. I'm sorry. He's really good.
For sure.
Hall of Fame, easy. Hands down, no question. But, like, man.
That's another thing. I got into an argument with someone earlier. I was like, because someone was like, "Well, the Astros are 3-2. One of the three of those wins don't count because they're against the Mariners and they lost the Dodgers. They got their shit knocked in." And I'm like, it doesn't matter. The Mariners are still a major league level baseball team. If you think one loss to the Dodgers proves that the Astros aren't a good team, that's a terrible take. Like, period. And I remember there were some people that were like, well, what about Springer and what? I'll actually bring up the Astros lineup right now because a lot of people are like, well, they're in a bad position. I'm like, well, Brantley's doing fine. Altuve, Correa looks great. Bregman looks great. Josh Reddick looks solid. Julio Gurriel is, I mean, he's above the average, like, WRC plus. Springer is pretty much one of the only noticeable big guys on that team that's struggling. Everybody else is doing fine, but they're like, oh, they struck out and stuff. And I'm like, well,
bad start happens.
I mean, do you see their slugging? Do you see their WOBA? Do you see the F4 that they've already contributed to their team? Like, nobody outside of Springer is really struggling on that team. So I don't get the thought process of people saying, well, they don't have any cameras. Well, yeah, I know that, but I'm not going to rule them out. I still expect them to win the AL West, like hands
They're a good
down.
team. They're playing against bad teams, and they're playing in a ballpark that literally allows home runs to left field at an alarming rate.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a right-handed batter in that ballpark, you're going to hit 1 million home runs. I'm sorry, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's like reverse Yankee Stadium or Fenway. If you can get the ball up into left field, you're going to hit a home run. Because
like
Crawford boxes are like 326 feet away. It's not that far.
Mm-hmm. Like, we both can agree that what the Astros did was beyond terrible. No integrity whatsoever. But we can also admit at the same time that they were a really damn good team. And if you don't think that they're going to make a push to go to another World Series this year, you're lying to yourself. They're too good not to, you know? You could look at some of the guys' numbers before the cheating started, especially Altuve and Springer. They were already well-rounded players before the sign, or not the sign stealing, but the cheating scandal with the cameras and the trash cans. They were already well-established players, you know? So
Altuve deserved an MVP way before he got this one.
Mm-hmm. Which I still think Altuve didn't deserve that MVP, but he deserved an MVP before that, you know? Like, he definitely deserves an MVP, but I think we could talk hours and hours and hours on end on why Judge was robbed, but I will save the time and effort because it just makes me mad. I don't even like talking about it because it's so pointless and it doesn't matter anymore.
It's not going to fix anything.
So I'm more focused on, you know, the present and the future instead of the past, and we can't do anything. No one's going to take the MVP away from, you know, Altuve and give it to Judge. I don't think Judge would really want that anyways. I don't think he'd feel like he deserved it anyways, knowing how Judge is and how respectable of a guy he is and how much he wants to earn everything, you know, how hard of a worker he is.
Proud Joe Kelly? We all are. We're all Joe Kelly fans
Joe
tonight.
Kelly is a warrior in all of our minds, except Astros fans. They despise the guy for obvious reasons.
But that's one thing Yankee and Astros fans agree on.
Did you watch any other game?
Me?
Yeah. Did you really care for any other game?
If you can call it a game, I watched the Red Sox game.
Was that the one where no, it was yesterday that Pete Alonso bombed one out of the
that was the one where Pete
Monster.
Alonso hit a middle changeup 5,000 miles.
Was it today or was it yesterday that Devers had like 3 errors?
No, it wasn't today because I think they had 1 error today.
Okay, so it was yesterday against the Mets.
So Devers was handcuffed at third yesterday, apparently.
Devers is very bad defensively, and that's being nice. Like, very, very bad defensively.
I mean,
like, literally, I just want to do this just to show you how bad he is. I mean, he's a great hitter, solid hitter, getting off to a slow start, that's for sure. But I mean, to be fair, Trout, Yelich, and all the great solid hitters are.
I think Devers had an okay game today. I think he did fine. He had an RBI today, except for the fact that he hit into like the weirdest double play in the universe. Got no RBI out of it today. Like, he got into like a non-forced double play.
Devers, negative 30 defensive run saved, negative 6.4 ultimate zone rating. So
that's our guy.
Just not good at all.
Can't play defense.
If you want to talk about anyone being lost on that team, Andrew Benintendi. He looks like he's asleep out there. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, there was one at bat today where Benintendi struck out on 4 pitches and not a single one was in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he swung at 3 strikes out of the zone and just looked completely lost. Like, the last one was a fastball in the other batter's box, and he's just like, oh, God.
Do you want to see this, though? One of the beat writers for the Red Sox said Andrew Benintendi, 1 for 16, Xander Bogaerts, 3 for 18, Michael Chavez, 0 for 9, and Rafael Devers, 4 for 21. That's rough. That is really rough start to the season.
Dude, that's tough.
Yeah, big time. And I mean, like, we both know, especially Xander Bogaerts and Rafael Devers, they're really good hitters.
Solid all-around player.
Yeah.
Solid player. You'd have him on if you're making a team, you'd have him on your team.
Mm-hmm, for sure, without a doubt. Really seems like the only guy that's been off to a hot start is JD Martinez, but does that really surprise me? Not really.
Who plays first base for the Red Sox?
Is it Mitch Moreland?
Yeah.
Mitch Moreland and is it Michael Chavez?
I thought Chavez was a second baseman, but I think he plays first. They should just honestly move Devers to first.
You really think so? You think he'd be better off at that?
Yeah. I think they'd be better off just moving him to first.
No, it is. Mitch Moreland and Michael Chavez. They switch occasionally, but Chavez.
How longer Moreland's going to be there for? But I would definitely imagine that they can't be happy with Devers at third.
Mm-hmm. But you are still right, though. Chavez is a second baseman, but mostly right now, Jose Peraza, I can't even pronounce it.
Peraza's been looking pretty good himself.
So.
It's fine.
I mean, honestly, apparently, according to the depth chart, Michael Chavez can also play third base. So he can play third, first, or second, according to this depth chart. So, I mean, that's a good thing. Although he hasn't looked good in the batter's box, that's for sure. So there's that. Is there any other games that was really worth mentioning? To be honest, I didn't. Okay, I will say the Rays look really good. Does it surprise me? Not really.
The Rays blew their lead.
The Rays are a really, really solid team, man. I mean, I kind of already expected it was going to happen anyways, but good Lord. A lot of people are sleeping on them because they're like, oh, the Yankees offense. Like, I have a lot of faith and confidence in our offense, but man, that pitching is so good.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Talking about the Rays.
Yeah, the Rays are really solid. They make the Braves look like a Little League team today.
Wait, what's it? Yoshitomo? Yoshitomo? Did I pronounce that correctly? I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he looks solid. He looks really good. And they also have Brandon Lowe back, if he stays healthy. So, I mean,
Devers in left is an interesting idea, but like it scares me anytime someone who's not a natural outfielder is playing in front of the Green Monster because they don't know where the wall is.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I don't know. Yeah, next thing you know, you end up like Clint Frazier and you run into the wall and you get a concussion.
Man, Clint Frazier is one of those players that, like, he has so much potential, but, man.
He's got such a good bat.
That's the thing is bat speed is just, like, that's the one thing that I love about him. Yeah, it's like I said, it's like, it reminds me of Bellinger. It's just so lightning quick.
Judge has an underratedly quick bat, too.
Judge is just underrated, period.
He's a really quick bat inside. Like, you think you can beat him inside. No. You're not going to beat him
and people don't understand that even though he strikes out a good portion, which I still don't think strikeouts mean really that much of anything when you compare to how good he is in every other category. In the last 3 years, Judge has walked more than every single player in the league except Mike Trout. That's legendary. That's elite.
Bryce Harper walk rate? I'm pretty sure he walks a ton, especially because when he was in the Nationals, because no one wanted to pitch to him.
Let me see. Harper's career walk rate is 14.8%. With the Nationals in the 2015 season, when he won MVP with the dumb 197 WRC plus, he walked 19% of the time. That is ridiculous. But like you said, it's probably because they didn't even want to throw to the guy because he's so locked in all the time. Man.
I mean, I just take my chances with the guy behind him.
That is true. So we talked about the Rays a little bit. They're pitching. We don't really have to discuss that too much. Is there really anything else worth mentioning? I mean, the Twins look good. Donaldson hit his first home run today. They look good. They're going to be a solid team. I mean, I know a lot of Yankees fans will kind of joke about them because the Twins have a history of not being able to get over that hump when they play the Yankees. But
Twins got to a hot start, yeah.
Man, the Twins look good. If the Twins could just put it together in the postseason, figure it out, like they would be a team that's like you just can't count those guys out. They're a really solid organization. They really are. I like them a lot. I like them. There's not a single guy really in that lineup that can't do at least something. Like even though I think Eddie Rosario is pretty overrated, I mean, he can still get stuff done, though, at least.
Oh, my God, dude. I remember we were making fun of Rosario and Wright that in the game I went to, the ALDS. They were yelling at Rosario.
Yeah, I can only imagine what you guys were yelling at him. I don't want
Rosario! They were making fun of him for his double play that he hit into in the first inning.
Matt Chapman, Matt Olson, underrated. Padres, Tatis. I actually wanted to say this because I know that Tatis, he's not going to keep up the numbers, obviously, because of the long, nobody's going to keep up let's see, where is he at? No one's going to keep up a 197 WRC plus. Like,
no, that's impossible.
Like, unless you're Bryce Harper's, like,
good.
2015 MVP season. But, like, he's going to come down from that. But it's like,
Yeah,
Tatis is really good. He is really, really good. And a lot of people didn't see that. Like, a lot of people were like, he had 150 WRC plus 3.6 F4 player and, 372 plate appearances. I need more of a sample size. That's not a large enough sample size. But I'm like, he's showing you now why he's a good player. Like, I feel like a lot of people have been sleeping on my guy Tatis. A lot of people are like, he's overrated.
Legitimately scary.
Like, I don't know.
That team can make some noise.
I mean,
Tatis, Machado, Paddock. You've got like a bullpen with a lockdown closer. Like, it's nasty. That's nasty.
I mean, Eric Hosmer right now has a 487 WRC plus. He's a .4 F4 player in 8 plate appearances. 8 plate appearances.
Yeah, he's off to a hot start.
I mean,
those are Jeff Francoeur numbers.
He's gonna come down from it, but it's like he's giving me like Royals like vibes, like World Series team vibes right now.
Yeah, those are Jeff Francoeur first month of his career numbers. Like, it's nuts.
Like a 667 batting average, a 1500 slugging. It's just like, obviously he's gonna come down from that, but it's like, geez, Hosmer, you're getting off to a hot start.
A little bit from that. Can you imagine? Like, I'm not wishing it upon anybody. Can you imagine he gets hurt and he finishes the season with like a 1500 slugging percentage?
That would be crazy.
Would be like,
I kind of want to talk about what you brought up earlier, that according to all 180, I would say, qualified players, even though there hasn't been that many plate appearances for each player, the one on the bottom of the list is Christian Yelich with a negative .3 F4.
Dead last.
He's having a rough season so far.
Every category you can think of. Having a tough start.
Chris Bryant is having a tough start. Mookie Betts having a tough start.
Chris with a K. Chris Davis with a K having a tough start. Andrew Benintendi. Pete Alonso.
I mean, even Trout is not having... I mean, it's not terrible. To be fair, Trout is at a 92 WRC plus, which isn't terrible, but for him, it's like, what in the world is going on? You know what I mean? Like, everybody is just not playing up to par. Bellinger...
Yeah, the hitters are definitely behind the pitchers. They're still working on it. They're still getting there. I mean, I've seen some bad at-bats, and I've seen some bad fielding. It's bad everywhere. It's terrible.
And I'm sure some of the hardcore Dodgers fans can agree with me on this, and they won't have a problem when I say this, but I don't want Bellinger to play bad, but I'm kind of glad that Muncy is taking the spotlight a little bit, because now people are starting to realize how good Muncy is and how underrated Muncy is, because I think he gets overshadowed by how much of a superstar that Cody is. And like I said, I don't want Cody to perform bad. Obviously, I want Cody to succeed. He's a great player. He's good for baseball, but Muncy just doesn't get the time of day, and I think Muncy is starting to finally get that recognition he deserves. I mean, he's been all over it this season. Like, 20 plate appearances, he's just been locked in so far. 2 home runs, 219 WRC plus. I mean, he looks good. So, I just need to give some love to Muncy. You know, I just need to give some love to some guys who deserve it, and they don't get enough recognition. And people.
I think that, like, one of the last things I was going to talk about was the fact that, like, the Brewers completely folded against the Pirates. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I don't understand this. So I've never seen the Brewers pitch before. But they literally have a guy who throws an 85-mile-an-hour fastball, comes in the game, and blows the game. Like, I'm like, dude, you can't be serious. Like, who are you? Like, he throws an 85-mile-an-hour fastball and an 82-mile-an-hour changeup. And he literally give up single walk, hit by pitch, walk RBI, and then walk RBI. And then they're like, all right, this isn't working out anymore. Let's take him out of the game. And then the next thing I know, the game's tied because those runs scored. I'm like, you can't be serious. Terrible. Like, that team looks like they're completely lost. Like, they've gone from, like, the playoff heights the last couple of years with, like, Hader and all that stuff to just being, like, this year they just look like they don't know what they're doing. Like, it's so weird. It's like their career has been Ryan Braun, just downhill ever since the steroids thing. It's weird.
I was about to say, I was like, what in the world? I cannot be reading that right. Gratterall, if I pronounce that right, Gratterall look really good. The Red Sox should be kicking themselves in the head for not getting that done.
Thanks, Red Sox.
And they also don't have Betts, so, you know, they just basically kick themselves in the foot. I don't want to have any disrespect. I don't want to shoot any disrespect to not Verlander, Verdugo, because I think he's a solid player, but Man, that might be kicking them in the head for a while. Because that's
Gratterall's a beast.
Did you see all of his pitches? I think he was like
100.
Yeah, like I can like a borderline 99 to 100 miles per hour pretty much every single pitch he was throwing, and I retweeted it too. So I'm trying to find it. I am trying to find it because I want. Yeah, so
he's
100.
Like Yanni Chirinos.
Yeah, so 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 98, 98. Like just.
He's like that guy in the Rays
crazy.
that throws the 99-mile-an-hour sinker, but I forget his name.
On the Rays, 99 mile per hour sinker.
Yeah, he's the guy that Gio hit the walk-off on last year.
Who hit the walk-off on? Was it Gio?
Hold on, we have the power of Google.
Was it Diego Castillo?
Yes, Castillo. That's who
okay.
It was. Yeah.
I was like, I was like, when you said Gio Urshela, I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense because I remember that game because wasn't that one of the games that got like a rain delay, and then we came like the Yankees came back and they were just like.
It was a week where Gio hit like 2 walk-offs, or like it was like Gio hit the walk-off against Castillo, and the next day hits like a big home run against the Red Sox, and I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, Gio was amazing. So
that's basically all I got to talk about, pretty much.
I'm
so happy tomorrow's Yankee baseball. I can't wait.
Rendon hit his first home run with the Angels.
Albert
Pujols hit a home run today. So
Albert Pujols very quietly 3 behind Willie Mays.
And then Max Stassi hit a 3-run homer. I know that.
Nice.
But
CJ Cron is slugging it right now. He's killing it for the Tigers.
Yeah, that was a big pickup for them. Very smart decision by them. So
underrated pickup right there. I didn't expect that much out of him, and he's just been beast mode like crazy. Trying to think of anything else. How's Ohtani doing offensively? Is he okay?
I know his pitching is pretty god awful, but
you and I have the same ERA as Shohei Ohtani right now.
Shohei Ohtani. Oh no, not necessarily. -0.2 F4.
You and I both have the same number of home runs as he does.
Yeah.
0. We also have the same number of RBIs.
Yeah, this is a rough.
He has an OPS plus of -39. That's not good.
This is a really rough start to the season for everybody. It's just so weird. Like this whole year in general has just been bizarre. But yeah, this season's been bizarre. But I guess the last thing we could talk about, and probably, arguably the most important thing to talk about that probably everybody would rather care about outside of the Joe Kelly Fight Club because that's legendary and that had to be discussed. What do you think's going to happen with the Orioles tomorrow? Do you think Glaber's going to hit like 3 home runs? He's just going to dominate them like he did last year?
No. I was impressed with him hitting a homer off of Patrick Corbin. I was a day late on that one. I was 1 day late on that prediction, but I want to see Gary get into gear tomorrow. I'd love to see Gary against his favorite foe. I don't think it's going to be Torres. I think Torres will have an okay day, but I think Gary will hit a home run tomorrow.
I hope Judge hits a home run. I'm so ready for him to hit his first of the season.
Yeah. So. But Judge always starts out really modestly. He always slowly gets into it. First he tracks pitches, and then he hits singles and whatnot, and then he starts seeing pitches that he can really do work with. You're not going to see much out of Scherzer and Corbin that you're going to really work with. So we'll see what he gets out of it. I'm sure he'll figure something out. He's playing. How do you pronounce it? You got it. You're all over it.
I already forgot, man. I got Asher. Asher Wojciechowski. I cannot pronounce that name.
Fastball changeup. Let's see what we got off of him. All he's got to do is hang one change, and Judge is going to Pain Town with him.
So, do you think Gary Sanchez is going to send one out of the park?
I think Gary is going to send one to the cheap seats tomorrow.
He's going to send one past the gates in right field?
I would love to see Gary hit one to the retired numbers like Judge. That'd be pretty cool. I think you'll see Cole go 6 innings or 7 innings. I think he'll strike out probably 6 or 7. I don't think he's going to go too crazy. It's supposed to be a hot day tomorrow, so they're not going to overwork him. It's going to be an interesting experience.
How many runs do you think he's going to give up?
How many runs do you think he's going to give up against the Orioles? I can definitely see him giving up a home run. I mean, you have to remember, like, he's a great pitcher, but we're pitching in Yankee Stadium here. It's really tough. Like, I feel like he'll give up at least one. Hot day, Yankee Stadium.
Oh, I thought they were playing at Baltimore, though. Aren't they playing at Baltimore?
Are they playing in Baltimore?
Yeah,
Right.
they're playing at Baltimore.
That's even worse.
Mm-hmm. So...
Because everywhere in Baltimore is, like, short porch land, especially in the hot weather. Bandbox Stadium. Left field's real easy to get to.
I don't want to sound totally unrealistic, but I'm going to give him the benefit of doubt. I'm going to say Garrett Cole's going to strike out 10.
That's a lot. That's a lot of strikeouts.
I think he's going to strike out 10. He's going to go 6 innings. He's going to give up 1 to 2 runs.
2 runs?
Mm-hmm. I think 2 runs.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, I think he's going to have a really good day. I think 7 innings pitch is a really good day by any stretch of the imagination. I think we've got everyone rested. Everyone's ready to go. Hopefully we're going to get some people in. And that's basically it. I gotta hop out of here pretty quickly. So,
all right, sounds good.
Any
man.
other things you gotta add? I mean, I think that's basically it. You know, you got Gary and Cole tomorrow. I'm hyped. I think it's like is it a night game?
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, it's always a night game. Yeah, I'll be able to watch. I'll hopefully get on the radio.
Which is really unfortunate because a lot of games, there's a good portion of games that I will miss this season because of the fact that I only work nights. And I don't really have an option outside of that.
You could use your phone. I use my phone to watch games at work. Or I use, it's on the radio.
Well, it's different because I work at a restaurant, so I have to be on my feet. But the good thing is I'm about to go back to college here soon. So I'll have a lot more time to watch all the games whenever that comes. And that's in like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks when I start classes. So. All
right, man. Well, I wish you luck with classes. I know I'm doing that too this year, so we're both going to be on that hype train.
So that's pretty much it. You're thinking Gary, you want Gary to get in the groove and hit a home run. Not just that.
Gary will finally relax.
I hope I pretty much agree with you. I hope I could see Gary hitting a home run, getting in the groove, and then looking sharp behind the plate with Garrett Cole. Framing pitch as well. Not allowing any pass balls, just looking pretty solid behind the plate. Maybe throw out a runner at second. Who knows? I mean,
it's going to be hard for him to throw out a runner on second when no one gets on.
That is true. But you never know. You never know. I mean, that whole thing happened with him and Gio Urshela. To be fair, though, Gio Urshela kind of did put the tag on him, and he kind of slid off the base. But, it is what it is. I still like to give credit to Gary.
You cannot get caught stealing there.
Mm-hmm. And you have to wonder, did the Nationals tie that game up if that doesn't happen?
They probably do.
So that game might go to extra innings.
Unless it was a hard hit ball to like the third baseman, I don't see them really stopping.
Mm-hmm. But that was a good play by Gio. Like, hell of a play. Like, a great awareness by him.
Good job keeping the tag on, yeah.
So, that's pretty much it. Like you said, Gary Sanchez is going to hit a home. You think Gary Sanchez is going to hit a home run? I still want to see Judge hit a home run. I mean, I know, like you said, like he kind of takes time to get in the groove and stuff.
Ballpark.
But yeah, Judge, I mean, wasn't the last time that not like the last time, but like the last time that the Yankees played the Orioles in Baltimore during the beginning of the season? I can't remember. I know there were like 2 different seasons, and I'm getting mixed up. But didn't he hit 3 home runs in one game? Was that him or was that Gary Sanchez?
In one game last year against the Orioles.
And then Gary Sanchez hit 3 home runs against the Orioles in 2018, correct?
Gary was last year.
Okay, and Judge was 2018.
Gary hit 3 home runs last year in 19.
Okay.
I don't remember Judge hitting 3 home runs in a game against the Orioles. I know he hit 2 a lot.
It might have been 2 then.
The one where he hit the ball like a million feet. That was a 2 home run game for Judge against the Orioles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if he hit 3. I feel like I would definitely remember that.
I might be getting it mixed up with Gary Sanchez because I know Gary Sanchez for sure hit 3 home runs. For sure. Because that was insane. He booted every single one of those out of the park too. And Gary Thorne was not too happy. He was not too happy at all. He also wasn't too happy with Gleyber Torres a lot last year. But, I mean, what can you really do? Gleyber Torres was just ridiculous against the Orioles. But, all right.
I'm looking at the list of 3 home runs in a game right now. Let me look at this.
I know J.D. Martinez hit 4 home runs in one game.
Gary Sanchez, April 7th, 2019.
So it was last year. Okay.
Yeah.
So Gary Sanchez was the one who...
I don't see any other Yankee on this list. and I see Chris Davis, Josh Hamilton, Joey Bats, A-Rod, Mark Teixeira.
Mark Teixeira, when was that?
2010.
Against who?
Against Yes.
Yes, the Yes Network and Yankees Entertainment.
That doesn't say who against. It just says who they're playing for. Darryl Strawberry, Ken Griffey. Yeah, that's a good list right there.
JD Martinez hit 4. I know that.
Yeah.
When he was in a Diamondbacks uniform.
Aaron Hicks. No, I think what you're thinking of is Aaron Hicks.
That might be.
I think you're thinking of the day that Aaron Hicks hit 3 home runs against the Red Sox against David Price.
Yikes! Big yikes!
You remember that? I remember that.
Yeah. I do. I don't know if that's what I'm getting it mixed up with, but you're probably right. To be honest with you, you're probably right because I can't think of anything else.
Both of those happened in 19. Both of those happened in 19, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, you already gave your predictions with Gary and Garrett. I did too, and I said stuff about Aaron Judge.
It was 2018.
I guess maybe the last thing we could talk about is just what kind of score do you expect out of this ball game? Do you think the Yankees are just going to steamroll them like they did last year?
It's not going to be a safe situation. I can definitely see it being 5-1. I feel like that you're not going to hit a lot of home runs. I feel like you'll see a lot of DJ is going to hit a bunch of people in. I feel like you'll see Gardner get a hit at least somewhere in there, drive an RBI, and you'll just see him do work.
I think it's going to be 6-2. That's my final score. 6-2. I'm going with 6-2. You're going with what? 5-1.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
So I'll give each team an extra run, basically, from your prediction.
Okay, so you go 6-2.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 6-2. Because, like I said, I think Garrett Cole has a good chance of giving up 1 to 2 runs, and I think all the runs that Garrett Cole's gonna give up are home runs. Maybe 1 to Santander. I would say Trey Mancini, but Trey Mancini's not playing.
Trey Mancini, get well soon, my guy.
Yes, please get well. Please. Trey Mancini's an incredible baseball player. He's a credible guy too. So
incredible human being.
But I definitely think if Trey Mancini, if Mancini was playing, he'd definitely be one of the guys who would hit a home run off Garrett Cole if anybody.
Do you want? I'll give you a hot take. Chris Davis is going yard tomorrow.
Who knows? So
Chris Davis
let's go Santander and Chris Davis are going long tomorrow.
In my opinion, their number 1 home run threat is no longer on their team anymore. That being Jason VR, or Justin VR, Jason VR. What's his name? I don't know.
Jonathan VR. Jonathan VR. Yeah. Remember when he hit a cycle last year against us?
He was a home run, and he was essentially the Randall Grichuk and the Andrew Benintendi of the Baltimore Orioles, where every time we played them, he would find some way to beat us and get on base.
I gotta see this though. Do you remember that though when Jonathan VR hit a cycle against the Yankees?
Yeah, I gotta forget.
But they still lost the game though, so it didn't end up really mattering. But it is what it is. A lot of people were really salty about it, but I'm a lot of people were like, it's not that impressive, and I'm like, well, it's rare. I think it's cool.
It's pretty cool though.
So it may be random, but I thought it was cool. I was like, okay, cool.
It doesn't matter, but it's cool.
It's rare. Even if it's on the opposing team, you don't see a cycle every single day. You know what I mean? Just appreciate the guy. It's the Orioles. Let them have their moment, guys. Just let them have their moment. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's all right. Well, that being said, I need to run, so...
Alrighty, that's about it.
Hopefully it's a good game tomorrow. Hopefully the weather cooperates. I didn't hear anything bad, but hopefully it's, doesn't get rained out. And hopefully we get good news about the Phillies and their COVID tests, and we continue this season.
Sounds about right. And I don't know the circumstance with the Marlins, but obviously I hope everything goes okay with them. And
well, the Marlins aren't playing until Monday.
MLB doesn't get shut down like a lot of people are panicking over, and just basically hope for the best. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's pretty much all you can do. You just have to hope for the best. And in a year that's been so bad and chaotic and filled with misfortunes and negativity, all you can do is just hope for the best.
Yeah, you just gotta hope for this.
But
just gotta be positive.
But that would pretty much be it. Thank you guys. We're running at pretty much this podcast is going to end like right at 50 minutes. So thank you for everyone that tuned in. We really appreciate it. We're going to be doing this, like I said, as much as possible every day, if not every other day, doing breakdowns. We won't always be talking about the Yankees. Like today, we're talking about the Joe Kelly Fight Club. We had to talk about the skirmish between the Astros and the Dodgers, whatever skirmish it was. I know there was no hands thrown or anything, but we had to talk about that. It was probably the biggest news of the night. And overall, just thank you guys. It means a lot. The support really means a lot to us. We do this just because we love baseball. We love talking about baseball, not just Yankee baseball, but everything. And we don't do this for money or anything like that. We just do this for fun. That's all there is to it. So I could care less about the money. I just want to talk baseball and give you guys some quality entertainment. That's all that matters at the end of the day. So hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Enjoy the baseball game tomorrow, and we should probably have another podcast tomorrow night, if not the morning after, and talk about the highlights, whatever happens to the game tomorrow. If the Yankees lose, the Yankees win. So